Good day, everyone. My name is Ebujo Precious. I welcome you to this discussion on real life issues. With me, I have my great counselors. Today, we'll be talking about domestic violence, a painful reality so many experience in silence. It goes beyond age, gender, or background. Behind every smile could be a story of fear, control, or emotional pain the world doesn't get to see. As counselors, our role is to shed light on this issue, create awareness, to encourage victims to speak out. No one deserves abuse in any form, and silence should never be an option. Together, let's learn, listen, and take a stand, because healing begins when we start the conversation. What is domestic violence? At its core, domestic violence is about power and control. It involves a range of behaviors intended to instill fear, diminish self-worth, and restrict autonomy of the victims. We have types of domestic violence. We have sexual abuse, physical abuse, psychological or emotional abuse, economic or financial abuse, physical abuse. This involves intentional acts causing bodily harm. Examples include punching, slapping, and beating. What are the causes of domestic violence?
Thank you, Precious. Factors of domestic violence are complex and interconnected. Economic, social, and cultural factors play significant role in its persistence, and understanding this will help in effective prevention and intervention strategies. Now, cultural factor. Culture shapes people's beliefs, values, and behaviors. This can increase the risk of domestic violence in several ways. In many societies, cultural norms support male dominance and female subordination. Traditional gender roles assign authority to men and obedience to women, which cause imbalance of power and can lead to abuse. Now, social factor. Individuals who grow up in an environment that is violent will believe or think this is the normal routine of life, or a child who grows up in a home where the father and the mother fight often will continue in this way, thinking this is the normal routine, and this can cause domestic violence. Now, economic factor. Poverty and unemployment can lead to tension and stress.
Thank you, moderator. I'll be talking about some of the psychological impacts of domestic violence on the victims and their children. For victims, domestic violence often leads to serious emotional and mental health issues. Many experience depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Many live in constant fear, feeling worthless, or even blame themselves for the abuse. Over time, this affects their ability to form healthy relationships or trust others. Children who experience domestic violence are also deeply affected. They may feel withdrawn, fearful, or aggressive. Some have nightmares or develop behavioral problems in school. In summary, domestic violence doesn't only harm the body, it damages the mind and the emotional of both the victims and their children. That is why providing psychological support and counseling is very important for healing and recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. Rehabilitation counseling. As a counselor, we need to understand the psychological effects which the victim has been through or has passed through, such as PTSD, post-traumatic disorder, and low self-esteem, and having to trust other people. So as a counselor, we come in by introducing certain theories to help the person get better. For example, I'll go with psycho-education, which is to enlighten the person about the rights and the wrong, and also help the person financial development. And we also talk about individual counseling, in which the person is able to have a one-on-one conversation with the counselor and express his or herself. And also group counseling, Group counseling helps in moral support and help bring back the person into society. We also introduce couple and parental guidance and counseling, which help establish healthy communication, trust, and set healthy boundaries. Thank you.
Thank you, Precious. You see, domestic violence is not a private matter. It is a community issue that affects not just the individuals, but their family and the community at large. Hence, all hands must be on deck to ensure that we reduce the occurrence in our society and we support the victim. I'll be sharing some preventive and supportive measures that we need to put in place. The first one is what I call public awareness campaign. There has to be a campaign, say no to violence, on all platforms, television, radio, social media, for people to know that they should not be involved in any form of violence, and the consequences attached to people that are involved in violence. Religious leaders, even at schools, students should be taught how to resolve conflicts and differences, and they don't have to resort to what I call community intervention. Victims of domestic violence need to be supported, so there has to be support group in the community to encourage them and to help them heal. Then there's need for us to have like empowerment, like skill acquisition, because oftentimes the cause of domestic violence can be traced to financial problems at home. So empowering them, giving them jobs and all of that will also help to an extent. And the last one is government intervention. The role of government in this issue is essential. I know there's an existing law which is Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, but it has to be strictly enforced. I know in Lagos State there's an agency in charge of that, which is Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. As a matter of fact, most people don't even know their phone number so as to reach them when they have any form of violence. And I will use this opportunity to share that, which is 080-00-333-333. So together we need to work together to break this cycle of abuse and to ensure that we have a safe and a peaceful home and society. Thank you.
Thank you, Precious. Domestic violence is a complex issue that need a very comprehensive approach. Yes, what are ways in which we can prevent this so-called domestic violence? There is a need for what? For real awareness. People need to be aware of such and the way for them to come out to heal up of it, because this so-called domestic violence has really dealt with a lot of people. Then let's look at support service. Yes, the society needs to support this issue of domestic violence so that people can know that there is a way out. The society needs to help in bringing out people from this this bondage of domestic violence. Another way in which we can deal with it is by what? Counseling process. Yes, especially for upcoming couples. Couples need to engage in what? In counseling before embarking into what? Into marriage journey. They need to be educated about communication skills, about how to live together in one roof, because these are two different individuals from different background. Ways of doing things are different, but now they are coming together. There is a need for what? For communication. There is a need for everyone's opinion counts, not in a situation whereby the man feels that he's the head, so therefore he has authority over everybody, including the wife. No, any decision the wife needs to take, before you move, before you shake, you need to consult him. And it's some men have made it so entangled that they've put their wives into enslavement, which is supposed not to be. Remember that what? Silence abuse the victim, while speaking out protect the abuser. So therefore, let's speak out. Thank you.
You were just accused, and it turns to you by you fighting each other, you abusing each other, saying bad things to each other. It's not something that should be occurring. It is something we have to put an end to it. So let us speak up. Let us speak up to help victims. Once we keep silent, we encourage the abusers. So let's put end to the domestic violence. Thank you very much.
Remember, silence protects the abuser, but speaking out protects the victim. So, speak out!